3, 2, 1, action.
What's going on, everybody? Tales from the Bottom of the Ocean. A brand new episode. It's a new Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving. How you doing, Mike?
Oh, God. Thanksgiving is a, God. It's hard.
It's hard. Why is it hard?
Because you gotta deal with your family and, like, other people's family. You guys gotta do all this stuff.
Yeah.
If the gravy's bad, the entire meal is just freaking ruined.
Why is that? Why can't you just enjoy the pie? I don't get it.
Because I don't like apple pie. Pumpkin pie. I don't want to start a war. But, and then apple pie, like, my family just got store-made. And then the other, I don't like it. I want, like, fresh-made pie. I'm very high maintenance with my pies.
So this episode's not about Thanksgiving, by the way. It's
No, it's
about...
Although it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Considering the Pilgrims and all the Native Americans and all that jazz, Reno.
Kind of. But it is about nationalism, globalism, and the nation state. So, Mike, what do you think the nationalism is? What do you think that is?
Basically, like, in the best case scenario, it's like being proud of your country and like being a patriot. Worst case scenario, it's xenophobia and you don't let anybody else in.
Fair enough.
No matter what.
Well, is that the worst case, or what if like?
Well, I guess the worst case would be is like fascism, but we talked about that 2 episodes ago.
You think so? No, not if you think that we talked about it. Like if you think that's like the worst part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. The hell do you mean?
No, I'm just listen, Mike. I'm just wondering what your views are.
Sorry, I'm a little on edge. I'm a little irate.
Why?
I just want my coffee.
Fair enough. But all right, I have a definition here, working definition. I like to think of nationalism.
By the way, I'm Mike Kempf.
Oh yeah, I'm Austin. Sometimes we just forget who each other are.
We also forget to pay homage to our sponsor,
to the boys.
The boys.
Biodynamic, as always. Keep making it possible to do our show.
Yeah, these are the
yeah, we got a fresh
beet
product.
birds.
Yeah, beet birds.
I love these. They do not get tied.
Yeah.
Like I literally have to go like this and tie them together.
Really?
Like I've had it in my pocket for a week straight and they didn't get tangled up.
Disclaimer: if you accidentally dip
only
them
headphone that does that I ever bought.
Pretty much. Disclaimer: if you accidentally dip them in tomato bisque, just suck the tomato bisque out of them, then they start working again. Don't ask me how I know that, but ask yourself why you haven't bought these Beat Bird headphones by Biodynamic. Go on Amazon, go on their website, just get those. Support the show, support our sponsors. They're really good people.
They're good.
Yeah, they make good.
Like they're really good.
No, yeah, seriously. And they in the box it comes with like 2 different extra sizes in case you have fat ears
or small ears.
Exactly.
Like Shrek ears.
Exactly.
Where they're tubes.
Exactly. Like candlestick holders. All right. So nationalism, Mike. It's a political, social, and economic ideology and movement, characterized by the promotion of interests of a particular nation, especially with the aim of gaining and maintaining sovereignty over the homeland. All right. So that's an important thing. Like I guess you can say like the guys who fought for independence in the Revolutionary War were nationalists in a way. What'd you say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they wanted sovereignty against the Crown of England. They wanted to have their own nation state.
Makes sense. Breaking away from your parents, break away from the Queen.
Exactly. The Queen. Nationalism holds that a nation should govern itself, free from the outside interference, and is linked to the concept of self-determination. What was that?
A yawn that I tried not to do. I try my best to look interested and all and perky and upright.
Failing
See, I got a haircut. I hope I don't look like I just rolled out of bed, maybe halfway.
But. I mean, the bunks in the back of this ship are quite uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Tales from the Bottom of the Ocean, guys.
Yeah, by the way, this is an aquatic podcast.
Yeah, we're under the sea brooks.
We don't talk about maritime anything, but whatever.
We don't. No, listen, we're dredging up all of humanity's worst philosophies from the bottom of the ocean, and we're
worst.
Well, I mean, all this is. I mean, everything we've talked about is pretty bad if you think about it.
No, I think they're good.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, except for the last episode, because that was like.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's a weird topic.
Intersectionality.
We should talk about this topic instead.
Basically. All right. It further aims to build and maintain a single national identity based on shared social characteristics, such as culture, language, religion, politics, and belief in a shared singular history, and to promote national unity or solidarity. Nationalism therefore seeks to preserve and foster a nation's traditional culture, and cultural revivals have been associated with national movements. So that's actually an important thing, revival. I mean, with every civilization has its upside, has its, rise to, I guess, the golden age, but there's a period when, it starts degrading, when its culture starts degrading, it starts descending into hedonism.
Dude, you suck the energy right out of me.
Really?
Not 10 minutes ago, I was the most energetic, and now you're the most energetic, and you just made me so tired.
I'm sorry. It's a fun show.
Yeah, it's the sea breaks.
Basically. There are kryptonite.
Dude, nationalism, I think, is perfectly fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You should be proud of the country you're in.
Really?
Even if it's like I won't say a shithole, but like a shithole.
So what do you...
all right, you have to learn to, disassociate, even, let's say, for all intents and purposes, I believe, the leader of the country was bad. You could disassociate the leader from the country.
You think so?
Yeah, I think people get too, dismayed when something goes wrong.
You think is the leader not just a direct, especially if they're elected, is the leader not just a direct, what should I say, manifestation of the will and either the negligence or the attentiveness of its population?
No, it's not. I'd say no, because
Well, I mean, we live in a democratic society, when, at least in some senses, where you can elect your representatives. So, I mean, if your representative is bad, does that, fall on you? Or, what do you think?
No, because, let's say, I think, when they present themselves as the most ideal form they could, and they put these ideas in your head, it's up to them to actually uphold that or not. If, let's say, you had a president that said they'd give out a free pony, like Vermin Supreme. You know who Vermin Supreme is?
I think you told me about him.
He's the guy who wears a boot on his head. He runs for president sometimes, and he wants to enforce dental care and give everyone a free pony. All right, but let's say he got elected president on the really off chance, God willing.
Yeah.
But and he said he'd get free ponies. He couldn't really make it through. We didn't get the free ponies. Is that our fault?
No, I mean, no.
So if a president does something more realistic and they don't get it, is it our fault? Because he didn't do it, even if we expected him to.
Well, I guess that's the driving concept.
He or she, I should say, to be politically correct.
But that's why I guess the Republican ethos is that limited government is good, because you want the populace to be as self-sustaining and as self-moralizing as possible.
Yeah.
You see, generally, I guess small communities being able to sort their own problems, can you imagine, I mean, I guess the country is what? The country is somewhat unified by the fact that we do live in a police, where the police have the jurisdiction to arrest you for a crime.
Yeah, that's another thing, though, because, police aren't, appointed. A person who wants to be a police officer becomes one, you know? Obviously they gotta go through all the tests and make sure they pass the mental and the academy and all that stuff, but they, unless if someone forced them to do it, which doesn't really happen, they did it themselves. So what they go on to do, I feel doesn't necessarily reflect the entire police force. So, stuff like that. People have to stop looking at people as their jobs and as themselves.
You think so? Yeah. You don't think their jobs affect the way that they see the world?
And vice versa for the person holding the position, because the person holding the position, they don't become their job, but they have a responsibility to uphold what the job's supposed to tell them to do.
Yeah.
But from the opposite standpoint, people have to remember that these people running these jobs are still people.
Yeah.
So if they do something bad, blame them, because obviously there's something wrong with them.
Well, do you not think that there is some aspects of certain jobs that make, I guess, that make certain actions more, I guess, easier, more appealing?
Like what?
Okay, so I guess in totalitarianism, I guess you can be a benevolent totalitarian, can't you? You can be a benevolent dictator, but why?
You could.
Yeah, but why? Why do you think so many dictators are just evil people?
Probably because they want like more and more people under their control, and like, I guess if the whole point of it is like you want people to like listen to you. So if people aren't listening to you, even if you have good intentions, you might get pissed.
All right, so this is another thing. Like the founders thought that the best way a society well, like basically the Constitution would only function if the society was moral.
Yeah.
So like this sort of demands all these things that you're talking about demand some level of like communal morality. Yeah. Like we have to agree on some things. Like we have to agree, like say like in things like due process, we have to agree in things like some people's lives. No, not some people. Like everybody's life is worth essentially the same in a particular regard. We have to believe like people have certain human rights, which we're going to talk about later. But like we have to a majority of the population has to believe in those ideals, in some way, or else the I guess the contracts that bind them, in I guess America's regard, the states, don't actually function.
All right, let's keep moving so we got enough time for
the special spot. All right, so globalism. We're gonna go into globalism now.
Okay.
Short definitions. There's actually like not really good ones I could find on globalism. Globalism at its core seeks to describe and explain nothing more than a world which is characterized by networks of connections that span multi-continental distances.
So like trade or
kinda, yeah.
Okay,
but that's all there is to the world. There's no like national. There's no. It's
not like a utopia where everyone's united. It's just trading with each other. And
that's
tolerating each other.
Well, basically, you're narrowing the world down to just the personal. What's the word? Like the interactions between like groups. Like you're not actually like considering groups as being somewhat sovereign. Instead, they're all connected, which is somewhat true. But that's all you're narrowing it down to. Is what it's kind of saying.
Yeah.
A national geopolitical policy in which the entire world is regarded as the appropriate sphere for a state's influence. So you should, as opposed to, it's basically saying you don't think internally in terms of the nations, that you think externally.
Yeah.
But like everybody does that. Like, everybody has to, or else it's not like a globalistic sort of society. And the final one is the attitude or policy of placing the interests of the entire world above those of individual nations. So I'm not. This isn't a conspiracy theory. Like it's pretty. What?
Okay.
This is a conspiracy theory. It's definitely well known that a lot of groups that sort of push for global like solidarity and global homogeny. I forget whatever.
I don't know. Hermaphrodite.
Homogeneous mixture. You're getting this right now.
I give you that water.
But water is a homogeneous mixture. Anyway.
Wouldn't it be heterogeneous because it's made of CO2, oxygen, and hydrogen? Please, I got through chemistry. I failed chemistry, actually. But
I loved chemistry. I passed chemistry.
Oh my god, I did not.
But, well, technically...
If you refer to the Halloween episode, you'll see why I don't like it.
Pure water is homogeneous because technically homogeneity means, homogeneity means one substance in a mixture. Like, it's made of one substance.
Oh, yeah, because it's a universal solvent.
Well, no.
like vodka.
Well, no, Mike, water is just made of one substance. So if you
what do you mean?
Water is H2O.
Yeah.
So if you have nothing but a bucket.
Oh, okay. So if I put like CO2 into it, it's a different. Well, wait. Would carbonated water be the same thing then?
Chemistry from the bottom of the ocean.
Chemistry from the bottom of the ocean. Okay, so carbonated water is technically a heterogeneous mixture. Well,
That's
actually,
wild,
actually,
dude.
no. Okay, so another thing about a homogeneous mixture is that, okay, so if...
It has to be a compound that goes into another compound?
No. It has to mix uniformly in order to be homogeneous. So you can have technically several things in a homogeneous mixture, but it has to mix uniformly.
So like Kool-Aid, for example, would be a heterogeneous mixture?
No, heterogeneous doesn't mix uniformly. Homogeneous mixes uniformly. So, okay, so like if I put salt in water and mix it and it completely dissolves, then that's technically a homogeneous mixture. I'm probably totally wrong about this, by the way.
What? That makes no sense.
Okay.
Let's go back to this normal topic. That's why I hate chemistry. I hope we have a chemist fan so he can call us like how stupid we are.
I mean, I think I'm correct, but anyway.
I think I'm not correct.
Homogeneous.
Homogeneous?
No, it's homogeneous.
Homogeneous.
No, in terms of chemistry, it's homogeneous. I swear.
Homogeneous.
No, it's homogeneous.
Dude, he looked it up on Google.
Did you actually? Look it up. It's
Anyway, back to nationalism.
the nation state, Mike. A nation state or a nation state. Oh, just put it. The difference between the two is one that just has a dash in between. In the most specific sense, is a country where a distinct cultural or ethnic group, a nation or people, inhabits a territory and has formed a state, often a sovereign state, that it predominantly governs. It is more a precise concept than a country, since a country needs not have a predominant ethnic group. Classic example is Poland. Poland loves being Poland. They recently had a parade where they were like gallivanting through the street. This flag that had the sickle and hammer of Soviet Union X'd out and Nazi Germany X'd out.
That's cool.
That is based as fuck.
Dude, I want to go to Poland.
Yeah, the Poles know what's going on. They love their independence. Too bad
they do.
Keep getting invaded.
Why do they keep getting invaded?
Oh, it's because it's just in a really shitty spot. It's in between Russia and it's in between Germany.
What's so wrong about that? No, I'm kidding. I know what's wrong with it. I feel like a deja vu moment happens.
Literally dead smack in this middle of Europe, in the middle of Western-ish Eastern Europe. It sucks.
All right. Yeah, probably.
So that's nationalism, globalism, and the nation state. So, Mike, so yeah, it's important. Do you think having
Homogeneous.
See, look.
okay? What are the definitions?
This is the chemistry one.
Homogeneous. All right, let's go. Let me drink some of my homogeneous liquid while you're at it.
Fuck your homogeneous liquid. Fucking sapien liquid.
The Homo Superiors from David Bowie's song. That's gonna be me.
All right. Wait a second. Then how do you pronounce heterogeneous?
Who cares?
Heterogeneous?
Dude, unless if you're a chemist or unless if you're like making mac and cheese and you need to boil the water, you don't need to friggin' know this.
Okay, look it up while I'm talking about some other stuff. Please, I need to know. Okay, so Mike, do you think it's better if we globalize or... Actually, let me just go straight to the questions because I asked
The
those.
British one. So the British is homogeneous and American is homogeneous.
Oh, look where you are. The United States of America. Under the water.
Whatever. They say like the way it's supposed to say it is whatever because
whatever
metric system also whatever. All right. So we're gonna talk about the costs and benefits of each, Mike, of nationalism, the nation state, and globalism. Well, actually, nationalism. Well, let's just say the nation state and the globalized
Dude, if
society.
globalism didn't exist, I wouldn't be able to like buy wasabi peas in Trader Joe's. Right?
Well,
no, I think those are made in America.
Well,
these
okay,
states.
hold on. That's globalization you're thinking of. So globalization is kind of because you can be a nation state but still trade.
Oh, okay.
But
Because I need my
globalization
spices, dude, and my tobacco, and my sugar,
Yeah, but
my silk.
Yeah, but globalization dictates that nations. Well, a globalized sort of society does trade frequently with outside, like foreign influences.
Liddy.
So, costs and benefits of each, Mike, a globalized society or a society defined by several nation states. What do you think? What do you think we are not allowed to do since we're not a globalized society?
Or not a globalized society?
Well, no, we're like a globalist society. Like, and when I say globalist society, it means literally like every single. There's no such thing as a nation state. There's just One Earth, one man.
Oh, that'd be interesting and cool. I think when we discover aliens, it'll come to that.
You think so?
Because, like, if we start trading with other people on other planets, if that ever happens, I think we'll, like, set aside our differences. Because, like, oh, well, you know, over at friggin' Glorp 7, they got oil. So if we go and, you know, get their oil...
What would Gloop Corp 7 call oil? They wouldn't call it oil, would they?
I don't care what they call it, as long as it's oil.
They call it skludge.
Well, no, by the time we're there, I guess we wouldn't really need oil. We'd probably, like, build a Dyson sphere around the sun and suck its energy.
Dude, we should imagine, like, a future where we can create hard light constructs and memes become, like, a physical commodity.
Dude, we'd be using those for, like, weapon... Like, if Dragon Ball Z would become real.
Dude, no, I'm saying, like, what if you can trade actual rare Pepes? Like, it's just a Pepe, like, it's made of light. And you can trade... No, I'm serious. Like, this is...
Why would I want that?
So you can put on your shelf or something like that. Like, oh, I got it.
Not only that, but, like, believe it or not...
People buy Funko Pop things. Why can't they buy light...
I forgot the name of the writer who made Boys Club, where Pepe came from, but, like... You know, he does own that character, believe it or not.
He does.
Yeah, I bought his book, by the way. It's actually... It's funny. But, like... He owns... It's like a... You can't just take it. You can't just make a hard light construct and friggin' sell it to somebody.
Well, maybe if we become a globalized society, they'll get rid of patents. Like, nobody will own anything, you know?
Well, I mean, maybe not on Earth, but, like, on Glorp or whatever the hell I called it. Friggin'...
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess in the future, if we do ever, like, encounter any sort of civilization out there, then that would be good justification to globalize.
Like, what if we're, like, the first invasive aliens that, like, we'll go to someone's house in our UFOs and, like, kidnap their people to...
Kidnap their cows.
Probe.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. I'd do that. He'd be like, what are you? He's like, please, send me back home. What are you? Doesn't answer my question.
Apparently, they think octopuses are, like, aliens now or something.
Crazy.
Whatever.
Octopuses are globalists.
Yeah, they're taking my friggin' exoplankton.
Pretty much. How dare they?
Give that back. Or whatever the hell fish eat, octopus eat. I'm pretty sure they eat fish and crabs and stuff.
Probably.
Whales, if they're big enough.
Yeah.
Humans.
Large ships sailing from port to port in the magical ocean. With their big beaks.
Yeah, I got beaks on all those tentacles.
Yeah.
So before you think you could just, like, take a squid and... I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's continue.
Jesus Christ. Alright, so, I mean, no, you make a fair point. If we're globalized, then we don't need to necessarily worry about, like, the whole globe can contribute towards, like, say, like, an alien invasion, if it ever happened.
Yeah, like, we would have to all have a common, not enemy per se, but, like, a common interest. And, like, another planet, I feel like, is the only way to do that, because otherwise we're just going to want stuff on our planet.
Wait, in that case...
And guarantee, even if we got into that other planet, it'd be like, hey, I want that. And then we just do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Wait, what?
The moon.
What about the moon? There's nothing there.
Space race to that.
Oh, that does make sense. Kind of, not really. No, it makes sense.
Said that?
The space race does make sense because, like, it was basically like a competition to see who could get to the moon first, and like, well, we sent a dog into space for some reason.
Fucking died.
And it died. They recently said like, yeah, I deeply regret doing that.
More dead dogs, jeez.
Anyway, yeah, there was like, oh, we sent probes, blah blah blah. Like, then we sent a man there. It's like, what are you gonna do now? Like, we wanted to send a nuke first, which would have accomplished absolutely nothing. But we sent a guy there, 2 guys there, and then more. I think I don't remember.
I don't remember. But like, I mean, don't you think we could do that more often if we were globalized?
Yeah, we could definitely put our efforts together.
But
although Elon Musk might not like that. He might want to send like a car into Uranus or something.
I hate you. I actually hate you. Like, why did you even say that?
Why? Didn't he send like a Tesla into space just because like, oh, I wonder what happens if I just shoot this into the stratosphere?
I know, but like, nothing happened. Fucking aliens found like the most coolest fucking car ever, I guess. Then
they look at the wheels like, what the hell is this?
But
that's an interesting thing too. Apparently civilizations, like, to some people, get so advanced. When they're really advanced is when they forget, like, the wheel falls out of common knowledge.
Yeah.
Because it's like the wheel's like one of the first things humanity developed to make their lives easier. Yeah. And so if that were to be so obsolete, you can only imagine what a civilization's capable of.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I mean, like, people... I mean, a wheel isn't just a circle, it's also spokes.
Yo, you ever start a tire fire? Those are friggin' nuts.
Anyway, so in a way, I guess you can't really avoid being nationalism because, like, you know, if you want to unite the globe, don't you have to have a common ideal?
Yeah, or a common want. But then who's to say once you get this like thing you saw it, you're not gonna frickin'
Balkanize again.
Yeah, and just demoralize everything. Like, I want that more. It's like,
and they form nation states to compete.
Yeah, so then like there'll be Space America and stuff, basically. Like, I don't know how I feel about like Space China taking my stuff or whatever, and then they'll go do it on another planet. It's like super space.
It's basically like the opposite of a fucking Flintstones, where instead of Roxico, it's Spacico.
Yeah,
they're like fucking
the United Space of America.
Yeah, or instead of fucking Rocklahoma, it's like Spacelahoma.
That might be the only way to actually do it. Completely take over your planet. Like, let's say America took over the whole planet, and then go over another planet. It's like, oh, this planet's America now. We start replacing the stars with planets.
America too.
Electric Boogaloo.
But yeah, then well, what are the benefits and costs of the nation state?
The benefits is what we just said, and the costs are what we just said.
Well, you can close the tab now, everybody. You know everything.
Dude, I'm too intelligent.
You getting this right? No.
I feel so different than most people, so I must be something like correct.
Yeah.
Or incorrect. You don't know that?
What if we're all just simulations?
No, we're not getting into that. Anyway, like, I mean, with a nation state, you can at least you at least know that your neighbor is part of your group. You know.
Yeah.
Can we help? But can we like escape this like sort of balkanization group mentality think we have, or is there a way to get out of it? You think?
Yeah, making a podcast about philosophy.
If everybody made a podcast about philosophy, then they could avoid it.
Yeah.
We should just have everybody in the world as a guest.
That'd be funny. Like, what do you think about philosophy? I don't know. I'm too busy playing video games, and I have a girlfriend, and I'm also too busy like smoking a lot of weed, and like I get kind of philosophical there. But other than that, I don't really think about things too much.
We'd have to like exclude 85% of the normie population then.
Don't say that.
Oh, never mind.
You'll oust us as non-normal people, which we completely, totally are. Let me go lubricate my organs real quick.
Oh, jeez. I hope you all are learning about the nation state and nationalism really well, like just like we are doing right now. Jeez.
We gotta get going. We gotta do Mike's Mysteries, dude.
Hopefully we get to it. But I mean,
the HD remaster of Mike's Mysteries.
I mean, the cost and benefits speak for themselves pretty much, so we don't have to get into it anymore.
That's what I just said.
No, but after I provided my insightful commentary. Anyway, is humanity meant to unite, and what would it take? We already talked about that. Never mind.
Dude, I break the whole system.
Does all humanity truly have rights?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. I'll say like no. It's like it's their expensive constructs that we think.
Well, does every human on Earth? Well, it depends on like, you know how in China, they have like this card.
Space Jam. Go on.
They have this card that like, it's basically like good boy points, where if you're a good person, you get like social kind of things like, oh, you know, I'm a good person, I get a little like cheaper bus fare or whatever. But if you're a bad person, like kick you out, like forcefully out of places because you're just like they know. It's like, imagine if Yelp reviewers did not get away with being a jerk on purpose. Like someone of you, like friggin' Bubble Bass from SpongeBob, for example. They kick him out. Like imagine if SpongeBob could forcibly kick Bubble Bass out preemptively because this card said he's a meanie. It's basically like that. I feel like we could do something like that, where if you're a mean person, like forcing you to be nice, basically, and be a good person.
What an example. All right, so that takes care of that. Well, no, that didn't.
I don't tolerate rudeness.
Well, I mean, so So yeah, I guess they don't. I mean, in China, I guess they make your human rights based on your merits. I guess.
Something like that.
It sounds like a really easily corruptible system, but anyway.
Oh yeah, the prime minister, emperor, whatever the hell he is, he got pissed because someone said he looked like Winnie the Pooh, and so he whited out all pictures of Winnie the Pooh from I think it's Kingdom Hearts 3 or something. Like, all right, yeah, you could show it, but you can't have Winnie the Pooh there. So it's just like a bright flashing light in the middle of like Christopher Robin and stuff.
Is that true?
Yes, unless if I looked it up on The Onion or something.
You need to check. All right. So I mean, listen. You listened to that monologue I had about fucking, what was it?
Stop cursing.
Oh, sorry.
You're hurting my ears. I'm gonna deduct that from your good boy point card. Lubricate.
Jesus. I mean, yeah.
I keep swallowing it wrong. I think I'm doing something wrong. Dude.
Yeah, okay, you need to relax. Jesus, we gotta do Mike's Mysteries. Remember?
Yeah.
Think about that. Well, think about other stuff, obviously, but think of that. Focus on that for at least like the next kind of couple of minutes. But anyway,
we should wear watches.
we probably should. But anyway, what's the word? I mean, you listened to my monologue when we did intersectionality. Obviously, like I said, like all we really ever do is just like maim and kill and hurt each other, like in some way, shape, or form. We do some good things, but the idea that there are these rights that exist outside of groups, I think is just completely unreasonable, and I think it's an unreasonable request to make out of the world and greater society. Like, I think you can ask people to be civil, but even then, you can really only ask people within like certain groups,
But then what separates us from animals? Like, we're clearly, we're animals, yeah, but, we're the dominant species of this planet. Unless, there's something we're not seeing, which is terrifying.
We just have higher IQs, that's all. IQ is actually something that can be measured in...
Yeah, we have higher IQs, but, we also... Yeah, they do. And so could, some animals could experience morality, or play. I think it's orcas that could decide whether they kill a seal or not.
Yeah.
And elephants
bury their
dead. And some primates at funerals. Apparently chimpanzees are reaching their stone age.
They're worshiping gods, dude.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts.
Clearly once you get to
let me say, this one guy was asking what the fuck are they worshiping, and this one guy posted Bitcoin.
But clearly there is clearly when you evolve to a certain point, morality comes in, and that should be considered.
But doesn't that just mean that
which means ethics gets into play there?
Well, then, but doesn't that just show you that things like morality and rights are nothing but systems that developed in order to better organize, the universe, so your organism or your groups of organisms prosper.
Yeah, but by that logic, let's say if we took that to such an evolutionary thing, we started, let's say we started exterminating people who have certain diseases.
We do.
Yeah, we do. What?
Yeah, we do. You can.
By not giving them proper care, but
No. Oh well, no.
Or making the care too expensive.
I mean, that's a facet of a lot of things that we haven't talked about yet. But in I think Iceland, or either Greenland or Iceland, they've completely eradicated Down syndrome from their society.
Yeah, I know. Are they morally wrong for doing that?
I mean, that's where...
Even if they're morally wrong from an evolutionary standpoint, maybe not, but we don't even know that.
Hold on. So would you consider a fetus human? Because that's what they do it. They do it in utero when they realize they have Down syndrome.
I really don't know. It's just it's a hard subject because, deep down, it's, something that is, it just kind of hurts, at least for me.
If I was ever at a podium where I was running for an office, my convictions towards myself would I feel as if I'd have to let it be legal, but at the same time I'd want it to be as rare as possible.
Because if ethics and morality really is nature, then technically it's not wrong. But then, there also has its own facets where, you could definitely perceive it being wrong, and that would definitely, be valid. So it's just a hard subject.
It's hard.
And who are we to say, maybe such a thing, Down syndrome exists for, an evolutionary reason. Maybe they have something that, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something that they have that, they could use to their benefit.
So maybe, so are you saying, things are only really worth saving when they have some sort of function in society? Or when they're not
even in society, but they might have they might have something within them that they can make their own society, not their own society, but
I'm trying not to make so many jokes. Come on.
What I'm trying to say is like they have like a reason. They could just because like they're not how we perceive something to be normal doesn't mean that they're inherently immoral to exist. They could do something with their lives.
Not according to Iceland or Greenland.
Not according to them, but also like how many people live in Iceland? Like 20.
And they all have like really ridiculous names. No, let's not be mean to Iceland.
They don't, but like they add like Sevison or something to the end.
Sven Gagelson.
Their names are cool.
They're so cool.
And it's a beautiful country,
It
too.
is a beautiful country.
I don't know about Greenland because no one ever talks about
Listen,
it.
if anybody's watching from Iceland, please come over here to be on the show.
Yeah, talk about things. Talk about the Aurora Borealis.
Aurora, no. Anyway, okay, so I think we've left a lot open for you all to decide. I am of the mind that like it's a tragedy that abortion would have to be necessary, but I think that we should. I'd hope that we as a society become so responsible and so hold on. We become so responsible, and we find life to be so worth saving that we come to just not do it as much as we could.
But there is a way that we could circumvent all of that, and that would be what people call playing God and gene manipulation.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't have to kill any fetus if we could correct it.
Yeah.
Which, that sounds awesome. Like Gattaca. Ever see Gattaca? Great movie. It's basically about gene manipulation.
Cool.
I think we should do that. Like, I think playing God... This is the thing about playing God, in my opinion. I feel like if we have the capability of doing it, and it's like, there's like nothing tangibly wrong with it, why don't we? I mean, we could... Like, we've left the planet... We've, like, done crazy stuff. We're trying to, like, some people trying to get, like, Groosers to turn into dinosaurs. Which is, I guess, playing God. So, like, we already started. We might as well just jump down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. All right, so what is a model citizen?
Me.
Why? What's funny is that the next question is why does any of this nonsense matter? But anyway. But what is the... I guess it depends on society from society, right?
Yeah, I guess it's holding their constitution.
Yeah. Like,
Doing what's best for their country.
Like, actually, what's funny is that a majority of women in, like, I think...
Iceland.
No.
Greenland.
No. Shut up. It's in a Middle Eastern country, but I forget which exact country it was, but, like, a majority of them felt as if it was necessary for a man to beat his wife. So, I mean... would you be considered that's a majority of the country, so would you be considered a model citizen?
Here's the thing, though. There's also a such thing as, like... Like, I don't want to say primitive, but, like... There's certain cultures that, like, have ideals that are, like, obviously not good. Like, you shouldn't be beating your wife. That's stupid. Like, I don't even know how things like that come to be. Well, that might be controversial on my end, but I feel like certain cultures have parts about them that are, like, absolutely, like, inhuman.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Not that mine personally also doesn't. Like, I live in America, for God's sakes.
Well, hold on, but what, like... separate your culture from the actions of the few, though. What is the American culture?
Yeah, can I borrow your jewel? I don't know. American culture.
A lot of people argue that we don't have one, but that's...
Well, we live in New York, so our culture's different.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying, like...
Like, we eat food that comes out of a truck. Like, which is awesome. It always tastes better. Like, why is it that, like, people who wear gloves always make... People who don't wear gloves when they cook always have the food taste better. And why?
American culture. I don't know. But, like, I mean, American culture is obviously, like, things like freedom, self-determination, industriousness, community, constitutionality.
Yeah,
like,
diversity.
Well, I mean, that's like a sort of revisionist sort of... Well, that's a progressive sort of ideal. Well, that they project onto... Well,
all right, well, I mean diversity within America. Like, if I couldn't get a Texan steak across the street, I'd have a meltdown, basically.
Also, what do you mean by diversity? Okay, that's the... Oh, never mind,
I just told you.
Oh, yeah. But, like, never mind. There's an ideological component and a literal component to diversity, which we're not going to get into right now.
Facts.
But, so, yeah, I mean, what is a model citizen in America, then?
A model citizen of America would be someone who votes, someone who...
I thought you were going to finish. Okay, go on.
No, someone who actually takes advantage of, like, the opportunities they were given.
Really?
Since this is the land of opportunity.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it. I think that's a good answer.
I think it's a good answer, too. That's why I said it.
Oh, jeez. I mean, I'll second that with somebody who
Like, put it this way: when someone is like, who's like complaining about the president, it's like, well, did you vote? Like, no, because the electoral college. Like, why didn't you vote?
I mean, well, because maybe they got a point. Maybe the electoral college is nonsense.
But it isn't. It works because, like, you know, tyranny of the majority and all that.
Most people live in the city. Dude, it's crazy. Like, every blue dot, like, in every country is just the cities.
And that, like, completely, without the electoral college, could completely sway the election.
And turn the whole...
Unless they went red for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, back to the podcast.
That's...
Did I answer your question?
Oh, yeah, no, that's... I mean, we talked about, like, basic... Well... We talked about model citizens from, like, different countries, but I guess to sum it up, like, a model citizen is someone who just, like, you know, follows the ideal of their respective nation state.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea, what are the, I guess the American ideals is, like, you know, like I said, industriousness. So somebody who makes themselves from nothing is considered...
So what would be, like, an unmodel American citizen?
Somebody, I guess, who, like...
Purposely doesn't work, I guess. But they have the opportunity not to work, they could take it.
Yeah, I guess somebody who leeches off of the work of other people.
Yeah.
Like that. If anything makes, like, I guess, a majority of Americans, like, angry, it's just somebody who just is a leech, you know. Yeah. And, like, should you feel angry about that person? What if they can't, like, necessarily, like, work as hard as they could, you know?
I don't know. I don't try to get involved in things that that's complete bullshit. But, like, I will try not to get involved in little things.
All right, so let's just ask, like, why does like, you know, the idea of, like, nationalism, globalism, the nation state, why does this sort of nonsense matter? Like why can't we just, like, be straight booling, you know, chilling about, not doing anything?
Because alcohol costs money.
but I'm saying, like, why do we need to complicate things with the things like society and whatnot? I mean, I already have an answer, but I want to know what you think.
Why do we complicate with society?
Like, yeah, why? I mean, obviously, globalism and the nation state are just two different kinds of societies.
I don't know, because without, like, laws and boundaries and lubricating liquid, we would be screwed. Because I could just go into your house and, like, take your family and your kids, kill you, take your, like...
Xbox.
Yeah, your Xbox or something. And then it'd be mine. And I could go home and someone would shoot me and take your kids and my wife and your wife and our Xboxes.
Ours? Those mine. Oh, you had one.
Well,
why'd you steal mine? You had one.
Oh, because you had one, so I figured I could sell it. Or maybe you had, like, a downloaded game I wanted that I couldn't just take. Like, what if you had Fallout? What if I had Fallout 76 on my Xbox and I didn't want it there and I couldn't get rid of it? Just take your Xbox.
Just don't know how to download anything.
Or PS. I don't even know if it's PS4 exclusive. I have no idea. I don't play video games.
It's on everything.
Video games.
No, it's on everything. Even Switch? No.
No.
So it's not on everything.
Oh, well, back to no more video games.
No more.
I believe you want to role play.
So we're gonna... I was gonna buy some tricorns, but... didn't have any time, unfortunately.
Yeah, 3-horned unicorns, dude.
What? No. You all know what a tricorn is. You fucking idiot. We're gonna draft...
And before, like, there's 10 comments asking what a tricorn is. I heard you. 15 minutes.
We're gonna have to quickly draft a constitution. Like, we literally got thrusted into, like, the responsibility of a country. What's the First Amendment?
Pass me your jewel button.
No, shut up. No, I'm putting it.
No, you can't do that.
Pass me the jewel.
Can we at least make that like a freaking, like, oh, it's like symboling sharing.
Pass me the jewel. Share. Parentheses, share. All right, that's the First Amendment. Whatever. The rest of them don't matter. Just share. The role and responsibility of every citizen. The responsibility of every citizen. We got 50 minutes.
To don't share. No, I'm kidding. Don't put that. To public transportation is revisited so that people don't need to spend so much money on gas and use so much gas.
What are you? I asked for the role and responsibility of every citizen. What the fuck was that?
No. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Citizens.
The role, just the role. What's the role?
Everyone's gotta get a job.
Okay, everyone works.
Even the kids.
Kids too. All right, and responsibility. You have to make sure you're able to work.
You must have a kid. If you don't have children by the time you're 35, you are
Kid.
you are like you're forcibly set up, and that's terrible. You can't do that.
Hey, it's your constitution. Let's
This
describe.
isn't what I actually want.
Imagine if this constitution gets like a unanimous applause by the whole entirety of society. Hey kid, by 30.
Kids must start smoking by the time you're 2. Smoke. Dude, we're gonna look really bad to anti-tobacco people.
I mean, we're gonna. Never mind.
Austin doesn't smoke, so that's good.
Every citizen must smoke by 2.
Don't smoke often. I mean, I smoke a cigar every so often, but like they taste good. Whatever. So you could drink a Dr. Pepper every day. What's worse, you gorging yourself on Dr. Pepper, or me smoking a cigar once?
Listen,
in a blue moon?
Mr. President, I just wanted a constitution. Jeez. The values of said citizen. What are the values of the citizen?
Sharing is caring.
Big ass titties. Big ass titties are.
That's not a value.
No,
It's valuable, but it's not value.
are great. Big ass titties are great. And also is the rights of citizens, you know. The rights of
Stop.
humans.
All right, how about we come up with a real one so we don't have to pull this episode?
The relationship between.
Okay, let's go with this one. Values. You must not use excessive water or gas.
Okay, so don't
Be excessive.
be excessive.
Yeah, just share. If you can share the jewel pod, share the freaking oil. Like, oh, can I siphon your gas? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'll trade you 1 joule hit for 1 hit of gas.
Can I smoke the gas? Quick answer, no, you
The
can't.
relationship between the citizens and the armed forces. Big no.
No. I was going to say, like, maybe have some military time. Military service, like a year.
So a citizen
Like
must serve,
mandatory.
so a citizen must serve in the military.
Yeah. Well, it really is dependent on the rest of the world, though. Because, like, if the rest of the world's like, oh, yeah, this country has nukes and they're pointed at us 24/7, then yeah, maybe. If they don't and everything's peaceful.
I mean, in Korea, that's part of their social policy. Every citizen must serve
and
in
look
the
how
military.
Korea is.
No, South Korea.
Oh, South Korea?
Yeah, every citizen must serve in the military for a certain amount of time.
Well, that's because North Korea is right up there. There's a difference.
Yeah.
That'd be like if a guy's holding a gun to my head versus a guy's holding a gun, like, all the way back in the Baldwin, where I'm from. No, good. Now people can freaking hunt me down and kill me if they want.
Responsibility of the armed forces.
Might as well give out my social security number.
They
Responsibility of the armed forces?
They collect the taxes, right?
I don't know.
What do the armed forces do besides beating the armed forces?
Shoot bad people? Oh, besides being that, let's say they fund.
Wait, they fund so the military's giving us their money?
No. Let's say.
It's the other way around usually.
Oh my God! Shut up. Let's say they distribute jewel pots. I don't know.
Give jewels.
If you didn't make me rush, I could think about it better.
We gotta do Mike's mysteries.
Yeah, we do.
Shoot the bad guys, give jewels, whatever. All right, so this is coming out to be pretty good. The rights of every citizen. Oh, so give me one. What does every citizen have the right to?
Jewel pots. No, don't put that, please.
Jewel.
I want to add jewels into the friggin' hashtags now.
And what else?
I don't know. What do people want or need? Water? Nah.
A free Adam Sandler movie.
Can we stop trying to like? Now Adam Sandler's gonna track us down.
I didn't say they were bad.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I don't think he'd be happy with us like taking his job and making it free. Isn't that piracy?
Listen, you're the one who's coming up with this constitution. I mean, we're both doing it, but
Oh, God, everyone gets free freaking
churros.
Everyone gets a free. It's like let's do Blade Runner. Everyone gets a free animal to make money and food with. So let's say you get like a female cow, you get the milk, and there you go.
Oh, okay. And
Or you get a chicken, you get eggs. Or
and farm.
you get a pig. I guess you have to kill the pig.
Animal.
Do pigs have any worth other than killing them?
So the rights of citizens, never mind the fact that they have the right to bear arms or to speak, they get jewels, Adam Sandler movies, churros, and animals. Farm animals. All right, so how far does the government reach?
What?
How far can the government reach? Like, what's the...
5 feet?
5 feet. How far the citizen may reach.
10 feet.
10 feet. How is the citizen represented?
Jewel pods. No,
A tin can with a string at the end.
God, I
That's
feel
your
bad
voice.
for anyone who may have came into this and like, oh, they're actually talking about things that make sense.
Yeah,
And now we got to this
I kind
part.
of feel bad too.
Let's just stop the Constitution here.
No, it's good. Listen, how is each citizen represented? Listen, if we just said, oh, elected officials, laws, like nobody watched it. You're gonna go watch something more entertaining. You already
Alright,
know
so
this. You can just
then,
read the Constitution.
Yeah,
Why
you
don't we just
could.
we
Why don't you?
just carbon copy the Constitution on a piece of paper. Oh yeah, so entertaining. Like, come on, free jewel pods and churros.
Who's the churros?
I did. Now how are they represented?
By how far they can toss a rock. Or how good of a podcast they could make. We'd be freaking poor.
How far they can toss a rock, and how bad their podcast is.
How good their podcast is. How bad their podcast was, we'd be freaking on top of the world.
I know, that's why. We're the progenitors of this Constitution. So we want to make it how bad your podcast is because ours is terrible. And
Yeah.
so then we get all the power.
Lubricate.
Everybody has the right.
I have completed my lubricating fluid.
Everybody has the right to lubricate.
Yeah, no matter what.
This is a pretty good Constitution, man.
Yep.
I'm proud we did this. So, hear ye. All of you will pass me the jewel. And your kids will have to go to work. But if you're not 30 and you don't have a kid, then you're gonna have one. We're gonna make you. Don't worry about it. If you ain't smoking, you better have started smoking by 2. I don't know why you're not doing that right now. So be smoking. I was told not to say the one I came up with about the large.
Stop.
Anyway, don't smoke that cigarette too much. Don't smoke too many. Smoke a lot, but not too many. Don't be excessive. You have to serve in the military, and you gotta smoke the bad guys. So you gotta smoke. Yeah, that's a little pun for all you people out there. And you also have to give the jewels, obviously, to the poor. To developing countries need jewels. Your rights are you get your jewel pods, your free Adam Sandler movies, churros and farm animals. So be happy about that. The government can reach 5 feet, and while you can reach 10 feet, so I guess you have a farther reach than the government. And you're all represented by your throne rock. So make sure you have a rock that has the amount of feet through it, and the guy with the most feet is the better one. Also, you have to make podcasts. Mike's Mysteries, go.
All right, back to aliens. You ever hear about the WOW signal?
No.
All right, well, the University of Ohio, I believe it was, this guy,
Yeah.
he was listening to radio signals coming from space, right?
Yeah,
right. This completely unique signal comes back to him, right? And it shows up on the paper, so he writes "wow" next to it. Because like, wow, something must have friggin' just responded to my tweet or something. Oh, this is in the 60s, so like, not tweet.
To signal.
Yeah. So that would have to mean that, like, or at least most people think that have to mean that something just sent a message back, basically, but we couldn't really decode it. And the thing is, people try to recreate and redo it, and they just can't do it. Like, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, maybe it was like a frequency from another thing, but like other people think like it's impossible because it went way past it, like the message.
Yeah.
So what most people think it is that like a legitimate message from space like showed up in the 60s, and yeah, that we can't recreate it. It's very possible.
Wait, so what do you mean like we can't recreate it? Like it's
Like if you send the same code through, nothing, or if you send it to the same location that he sent it in the same code, nothing bounces back, or something different bounces back. That's like it could be anything.
And so it's like unique every single time.
It's unique when well, no, it's basically like the same sequence will never show up, and like, well, no, it won't come back. Basically, like it won't return. It's just
Oh, okay. So like the purpose of like shooting signals out into space is to like get the same frequency to show you how like distance and.
yeah, but we received something back at us, and then nothing came of it. But
Oh, so he sent it there, it came back, then he received something new, or did he send something there and then it came back and it was different?
he sent something there, and then it came back at all. Is what I'm trying to say.
Because obviously most of space is
Like something
empty.
shot it. Well, no, because like it will detect like a meteor moving or something or whatever.
Oh yeah, obviously.
But like, I guess it's just how it happened. Like it's a completely unique thing no one's ever seen, and like how fast it was. I'm not really too sure because I looked at it on Google for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But
it was space, China.
it was space, dude. Space is crazy. But like basically, it was a code that we sent, and like we are not able to get that exact thing ever again. So people think that aliens sent us a message back to us, which is possible. Who knows?
I saw this one post that said, "Earth is the place where aliens roll up their window and drive by."
Oh yeah, yeah. There's another thing I wanted to talk about. How
No, don't indulge our fans too much. They'll be excessive.
no,
Only one of Mike's
it's still about
mysteries.
aliens.
Oh, okay. Fine.
A cigar-shaped meteorite came towards us last year, and people thought that might have been an alien's craft. It's just weird how things in space are shaped. Is what this Mike's Mysteries is about.
There was that one thing there, or like a star was blocked by an irregular object, and like it just passed over it, and like it happened like several times or something like that.
Yeah, things are crazy. And like people think like you know what a Dyson sphere is, where like it absorbs the energy from the. It's something built around this like a star to absorb energy. So
Dyson sphere.
yeah, like over the star. So that way
I've
absorb-
heard that. Yeah.
People like think there's examples of that because like radiation suddenly goes missing like at a rapid rate around certain areas.
Oh, so they think it's like spinning around it.
Yeah, and like it just like absorbs it,
Dude, space is so cool.
which would make you a type 1 civilization. We're type 0 because we're so, according to the guy who made that, we're so like primitive. But to be a type 1 civilization, you need to
utilize the energy of your
of the star to
system.
power your planet.
Yeah,
And I believe second is colonizing your entire solar system, and then third would be the galaxy.
The galaxy, really?
Yeah.
Third? The entire galaxy.
Yeah.
That's such like a far jump.
Like, ever watch
though.
DBZ? Friggin' Frieza has the whole galaxy. Type 3. I don't even watch anime. You're like the one person. Whatever.
No more anime. No anime. I'm putting in the Constitution.
Okay.
No anime and hentai.
Except for Dragon Ball Z.
No anime no more Fortnite. More Fortnite. More biodynamic. More Tales from Bottom of the Ocean.
Yeah. I'm Mike.
I'm Mike. No, I'm Austin. I'm an alien.
He's supernatural. All right. Yeah, we're going down.